is communicating with a deaf person, and peradventure, even if it's a deaf as well, assuming they are in the room and there is no light, how will they communicate? So that's just our own little way of illustrating communication gap between the hearing and the deaf. The deaf will always prefer 100% to date. The deaf will prefer to date a fellow deaf person than a hearing person, so that they won't be in the dark at any point.
So what if you have someone who is not deaf, who is not hearing impaired, but understands sign language? Would a deaf person want to be in a relationship with that kind of a person?
Yes, I have but on very rare occasions. I have a friend who is deaf but got married to a hearing person, although the mother of the boy is also deaf. So you can see that it's still the deaf community. So, but in most cases, the deaf prefer to get married to a fellow deaf person. That couple now that I said got married to a deaf person that got married to a hearing person, the family is doing well and they are okay.
All right. It is very obvious from what you've said that marrying within the deaf community is prevalent. Deaf persons prefer marrying within their community rather than finding love outside. But if someone who can understand sign language is available, a deaf person wouldn't mind engaging in a relationship with that person. I think that's the sense you've made.
Yes, she said yes.
All right. I know people are a bit curious. People would want to know if a deaf person is in a relationship or goes into marriage with another deaf person and they have children, how would they communicate with their child? How would they raise their child such that it does not affect the speech of that child? People will be curious about that.
Most times, hearing impaired couple often have assistance from extended family members, like mother of the bride, mother of the groom, or any of their relation who can help, probably to stay with them, or the children having to go and spend some time with those hearing persons to assist them. Then in their own way, in the absence of all of these other persons, they can use the television, expose the children to sound from radio, from television, from cartoons, from phones, so that they can build their hearing and also learn how to talk.
So it's not a challenge if a deaf person is in a relationship with a deaf person and they give birth. It doesn't automatically mean that the child would start having speech defects. Because people have that notion.
No. That it is God that has made that. None of them, in most cases, have ever given birth to a deaf person. It is very, very rare, although they are there. But they always give birth to hearing persons, and they're able to train the children to hear and also to speak.
Fantastic. So, as a deaf person, she would have interacted with deaf persons who oftentimes try to find love. What is the most difficult thing they face in trying to find a partner? What are their challenges?
Okay, he said in most cases, hearing impaired persons, they don't have challenge in having, in finding love. But she wants to understand if your question is for a deaf person to a deaf person or a deaf person and a hearing person. Which of them?
Fantastic. So if it's for a deaf person, it's not quite difficult for them. But if it's for a hearing person, it's a bit challenging.
Yes, she wants to know.
Okay, but I'm asking generally.
Okay, it is only when it is deaf to a hearing person that they will have challenge because of sign language. But if it is deaf to deaf, they usually don't have challenges. Because of communication gap, there will be a challenge between the hearing person and the deaf person. And the same trust issue that she raised before will also be there.
All right. I would like to ask her a personal question. Before she got married, did she have any experience where a hearing person asked her out? And how did she handle that?
She said yes.
What was that experience like for her?
She said she even dated a hearing person before, but it was very, very difficult. I tried to force myself to understand his speech. When he's talking, I tried to lip read, but I mean, it was very frustrating and I wasn't feeling comfortable at all. Sometimes we try to write, but that takes a lot of time and also it spoils my emotions. So I decided that I cannot marry a hearing person. I promised myself that I was going to marry a deaf person no matter what, that God will help me to raise my children. And that's where I am today. I am married to a deaf man from Benin. I have 4 kids. And we are happy together.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, we'll go on a quick break. We've been having a very interesting conversation with Millicent Odogwu, who's been sharing her experience with us, as perspective as far as love, dating, relationship, marriage for people with hearing impairment. When we come back from the break, we'll continue our conversation with Millicent. Welcome back from that break. If you've been following the program, you agree with me that we've been having a very exciting conversation with Millicent. She's been sharing her thoughts about love, marriage, and relationship for persons with hearing impairment. And for me, I've been having a nice time just listening to her. But I would also want to ask her a very important question. As deaf persons, what's your personal experience, or what have you noticed about the interference of other family members in your relationship?
Okay, for me, my personal experience has been a nice one. I'm very okay. My mother-in-law has been very helpful to me and my family.
So is it also important that people around you, your family, understand sign language as well?
No, they don't understand the standard sign language. We just use body gesture, and sometimes we write also. Most times we write. So we are able to understand each other.
Okay, we are in an era of technology now. I mean, technology has evolved over time. And I'm wondering within me, does technology help in any way to foster relationship between, whether it's a deaf stroke, a non-deaf person, or a deaf to a deaf person? Has technology helped the deaf community to enjoy love, to enjoy relationship, to enjoy marriage better?
Yes, it has been very helpful. That we're able to use WhatsApp to communicate, we're able to do video calls, and they have been very helpful, exchanging messages and pleasantries through technological gadgets, especially WhatsApp has been very helpful to deaf community. Yes.
Fantastic. I mean, I'm wondering within me that in an era where these things didn't exist, I'm sure somehow the deaf community still find way to, find love, amongst themselves. There's this perspective too that people oftentimes want to take advantage of deaf people, particularly the deaf ladies. What's our thoughts on that?
Well, it depends. It depends on the context you are looking at it from, but in most cases, yes, people take undue advantage of them still because of communication gap. Most young deaf ladies cannot communicate with their parents, so whatever that is going on with them, within them, around them, they cannot communicate to their parents and also their loved ones. So communication gap remains the major challenge of persons with hearing impairments.
So communication is a big challenge within that community for those with hearing impairment. I mean,
yes, it is.
If they could communicate effectively, it's obvious people who take advantage of them will not have the opportunity to do so, I guess.
Yes.
All right, fantastic. I know people are also curious. I mean, and I'm sure she has seen people with hearing impairments marrying people who don't have any form of disability whatsoever. For instance, within the blind cluster, for those who are visually impaired, they feel it's more convenient for them to marry somebody who is without any disability. But I've learned today on the show that for deaf persons, they feel more comfortable marrying someone who is within their cluster,
yes.
And they feel it's safer for them, that way.
Yes.
But generally, what misconception does she think people have about deaf people and how they find love and relationship? What's that misconception she thinks people have about them?
Okay, the first misconception is that people feel that deaf persons, they usually get angry easily and that they are very violent.
That's a common misconception.
And that's, yes, and that depends on the situation that deaf has found his or herself. But generally, it's not true. I know that it can be very frustrating when they are trying to communicate and nobody understands them. But that notwithstanding, we still have a lot of deaf persons out there who are loving and caring, and they are nice to be with.
Okay, let's move into, I know this is outside love, dating, relationship. Let's move to another concern that we've had concerning the deaf community for a long time, the issue of accommodation. I'm aware of the fact that many landlords, landladies, owners of property often decline giving deaf people accommodation or renting their houses to deaf persons. What does she think about this? Is it not worrisome to her?
It is true. Sometimes the landlord themselves feel that because these people are deaf, they cannot pay. And they also feel that deaf people can also make trouble with other persons. But all of these are misconceptions. The deaf persons are not animals. We are humans like every other person. So if we go out in search of a place to rest our heads, it is within what we can afford. We don't go for what we cannot afford, and we never go out in search of accommodation with the intention of not wanting to pay rent or causing trouble. So we should be accepted in the society, and we should know that every one of us have his or her own challenges. If it is communication, for me, the phone has made it very, very easy for us to communicate with other people. But people don't even want to open up to accept us, so it becomes very frustrating.
All right, beautiful. Back to the love conversation and the relationship conversation. We've discovered that deaf people get married very early. You see at 21, 25, deaf people in their mid-20s, early 20s, they get married very quickly. Why so?
You said the question is quite funny. That for her, she feels that whenever anybody finds love and you are matured enough, you have found love and you can take care of yourself and the family, Why not? What matters it all is, has the person found love? If yes, and the person is matured enough, has all the resources, the person can go ahead to get married.
Prefer marrying within their cluster. Have they had situations where family would want to force them to marry people without, or a person without a disability? Have there been experiences like that?
Yes. Personally, when I was young, I asked my parents, please, can you allow me to get married to a deaf person? My father said it depends on me. And I asked my father again, do you mean it depends on me means I can marry either a hearing or a deaf person? My father still said, yes, it depends on me. Okay, but my mother actually wanted me to get married to a hearing person.
All right. But I'll ask this very final question. People also think, but I've seen, okay, if I say I've seen, some people will question it, but I've noticed that most deaf ladies are very beautiful. I mean, does she agree with that?
Yes.
I've seen a lot of beautiful deaf ladies in my lifetime, and that's quite fascinating. All right, it's been an interesting conversation on the program today, discussing or having a chat with Millicent Ogbodu. She's been on about the subject of love, relationship, dating for persons with hearing impairment. And I hope you learned a couple of things from her today. And she's been able to dispel some of those misconceptions people have about people with hearing impairment, particularly when they give birth to children. People often think that, oh, automatically, because the parents can't talk, it's definitely going to affect the speech of that child. That's really not the case. Thank you for following us on the program today. Thank you for watching on TV and listening on radio. We'll do this again next week. My name is Kingsley Okoje, saying spot the hitch and be a voice. Goodbye.
ITV, certainly the best.
Top of the evening to you, ladies and gentlemen. It's another lovely episode of your favorite men's rendezvous on television, which is the Guys Hangout Show on Independent Television, reaching you live from the city of Bronx. Yes, of course, I love to call it a city where the king is truly king. Now, for starters, the Guys Hangout Show is a show that, teaches men to prioritize themselves and to put themselves first, and of course to invest in themselves, because it's no news that society looks up to men a lot. A whole lot is expected of men in the society, from protection to provision and what have you. Now, if you don't have to give, you really can't give. Just like they say, you can't give what you don't have. So it's very important that men learn to prioritize themselves and invest in themselves. For that is the only way they can actually have to give to others. My name is Harry Aigboje, and of course it's my pleasure to have you join us on this beautiful episode of the show. Now, to take a look at tonight's discourse with me are two beautiful, two amazing, two viral young men right here with me, and together we're going to be doing justice to the topic. Now, to my far left, of course I always love to start with my far left, is someone who is a colleague and also a public affairs analyst. He goes by the name of Michael. It's good to have you, Michael.
It's great to be here again. Thank you very much.
Welcome, Michael. How's your day been?
It's been great. Wonderful. You look great.
Thank you, and you too.
Thank you.
All right, seated next to Michael, seated in between us, is a public affairs analyst as well. He's a member of the family. He's a brother, a colleague, and someone who is very passionate about things that have to do with men and masculinity. He goes by the name of Ramsey Uwaila Abu. Good to have you, Ramsey.
Thank you, Harry. It's always a pleasure to be on the show. The show has given us a platform to help correct some of these things in society that needed to be corrected.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a pleasure being here to talk about some of these things that affect us, because what better platform is there than this, right?
Yeah.
All right. So we have a very important topic before us, right? A very interesting one. It's something that has to do with young men and their finances. Okay, so first of all, like I said in opening, a lot is expected of men. So one of those responsibilities that society has placed on the shoulder of men is the need, for them to meet their financial obligations. And what are those financial obligations? Taking care of everyone around them, right? Of course, a man gets to a certain age and then society already expects him to, lift his family out of poverty, so to speak. If he has a mother or a father, he's expected to take care of, them. And then if he has a woman in his life, let's say he's not even married yet, it's just a girlfriend that he has. By default, society expects him, to live up to certain financial obligations, like, giving her money for upkeep. And then, of course, there's this maintenance money, right? Hence, you hear some women telling some men that say, can you maintain me? Can you take care of me? Now, we're looking at how relationships, dating, affect the financial potentials of young men of this generation. Now, why is it that when a man doesn't have money, let's start from there, society doesn't seem to, take him seriously?
Thank you very much for that. Well, it's quite unfortunate that we're in a system, a society whereby the poor doesn't have words of their own. They don't have a say. You can't talk. In this society today now, we have many persons that are pressurized. All right. Now, if you don't have money, you can't belong. Understand? You can't belong. If you know what I mean? Let me be elliptical.
Okay.
You can't belong. You get. So it's so unfortunate right now that, okay, you see, some persons that are so much traumatized to the extent that because they want to belong, they're not doing some illicit, putting their hands in some illicit activities. You understand? So I really don't know, but it's just where we find ourselves. You get. So if we can change that kind of parochial mentality, I can't, because of, see, some persons find themselves in a particular situation which is not their fault. You get. You just have to live with it and do your level best to come outside from that from that situation. Yeah. It doesn't mean that you're going to stay there forever. You get. See, some of these youths today, they don't have to be pressurized negatively. Because you want your voices to be heard, you're going to start, putting your hands in one or two dirty, prescribed on things or the other. You understand? So it's just quite unfortunate that until you have it, before you can, be there among the chosen ones, in quotes.
Now, thank you very much, Michael. Ramsey, there seems to be this growing trend, especially in the media space, right? of men saying that relationship has become like a poverty alleviation scheme. Right? So a lot of guys are now shying away from relationships. Some will just tell you, say, I'm no longer interested in relationships. Some, have made up their minds to abstain from anything that has to do with relationship because of the attendant effects, because of the features of such relationships. You are in a relationship, for instance, and certain things are expected of you. Even if your girlfriend isn't asking you for anything, even if she's not directing, in her demands, all it takes is just for her to complain about certain things. Some people call it indirect mode of asking. She tells you, "Oh, my rent is due."
Yeah.
Right? I need to make my hair. I haven't made my hair for the past 2 weeks.
She didn't ask you, but she's asking you.
She didn't ask, but she just, do you understand? And then, as a man, I had a friend that once said that, say, imagine your girlfriend complaining to you and you can't do anything as a man. That makes you less of a man. And this is the sad reality of a lot of men of this generation. How did we get here?
Yes, there are still some girls out there who knows what they are doing. I think I will fault those guys who went for what I call outer beauty, what I call a coconut carrying a human hair, what I call an empty brain, wearing makeups and all that, who sees you are going for that girl, who sees you as a poverty alleviation scheme. If she can afford these things in her father's house, why will she disturb you with these things? The problem, I know many girls out there will say, okay, if you can as well get whatever it is you are doing with her, having sex with her and all that, why did you decide to go for her? But the truth is, it is not a market thing. I didn't buy it. I am not paying for it. It's not transactional. Thank you very much. It's not transactional. Now, for a man, if you are a man, you should be able to take a stance and say, I will only go for that lady who is career-oriented, who is focused, who wants to do something in life besides depending on a man. Such lady will not give you problems in relationship. But when you decide to go for that one who is looking for someone that will remove our family from poverty, you always have problem. Mind you, even if you have all the money on planet Earth, if you spend today, you spend tomorrow, you spend the day after, human wants are always insatiable. The day you don't have, should go for the higher bidder. Then the next person will continue. There is always this dependence on money. If money is no longer there to oil the engine of the relationship, they should go for another person that has the money so that the engine of the relationship will continue to be oiled and all that. Okay. So the thing is, as a man, you shouldn't start with such relationship. The way girls say, I cannot date a broke guy. I don't know why guys are dating broke girls. What is the first sign of a broke girl?
That's a serious one because it's been generating lots of controversies on social media because that's where we are right now. Some guys are saying, if ladies are saying they can't date broke guys, then I think it's time
broke girl.
To start paying them in their own coin. So we're not dating broke girls. So
no,
the question is, where will that take us as a people? Because what that actually has turned relationships to is, a trade by barter thing.
Yeah.
Right? So, in those days, we heard of most of our parents, our grandparents, fell in love. There was true love. They fell in love without much financial consideration. That was not to say that they didn't care for each other or that they did not, feel the need to want to buy things and give gifts to each other. But nowadays, these relationships are hinged on these things.
Yeah.
So if you take these things away from relationships,
there will be no relationship.
There will be no relationship. So my question is, what does the future hold for young people?
If we continue like this, there will be no marriage. The only thing we'll have will be wedding ceremonies. And these days, many girls are even hyping or putting all their hope on how their wedding is going to look like, instead of thinking of how their marriage should look like. And that's because they have tied the whole of their life to the financial status of a man. Sir, if all men can decide to say we are not dating a broke girl, it will bring us to normalcy. It will bring us to what we call real marriage. Okay. No, when the Reverend Father says for richer or for poorer, some people will say for richer, he knows that there will be time where there will be what? The worst. It's not going to be good all the time. So this time when things are not working out well for your man, will you still be able to stay? who is that man that is so rich that at time there will be no hiccups in his life or financial status and all that? Definitely there will be time when this man needs money. Will you still be there as his wife? So when you start a relationship with money, I can take care of you. Can you afford me? Yes, I can afford you. As if they are products. We only afford things that we buy, we use and done.
Commodities.
How can you say, as a human being, you are asking a man if he can afford you?
Like you are some sort of commodity.
Then you sold your rights, you sold everything, he can afford you, then he knows everything about you. And later you come outside to say you are a feminist. Women should be given equal rights. When you have been bought by a man, you ask if he can afford you. So the problem now is, guys out there, look for a woman who is a real woman. A woman who knows that she is in life, not because she just wants to depend on a particular man, but to make money herself and going to marry. For such women, you enjoy marriage. But if you pick that one who is looking for someone that will take her out of poverty, you will keep spending and spending. At the end, you will still lose her because she is fit for the streets and not for the home.
Not for the home. Okay. Now, we pray that we do not end up with one of those that are suited for the streets. Now, Michael, Ramsey just said something about some men's poor choices. He said that a lot of guys that end up with such women, it's because they actually went for such women. But the question on my mind when he was saying that was, how many good women? Because he said that there are women that do not share that mindset. But the question is, do we have enough of such women to go around nowadays? Do you think so? Do you think we have enough of such women to go around?
Yeah, of course. First of all, I think many persons, many of these females, they're living bogus life. You want spot hits at the outset of the relationship.
Exactly.
When they enter it, they lose their wrapper, they lose their exteriors. Because you begin to see the real color.
The real them.
Because at the outset of the relationship, because you are a safe piece for them, they will just show you their good side. But when they are in, they begin to show you the terrible part of it, and you start wondering, like, I don't understand, isn't the person that I was with, like from your question, you said, are there
good women, enough good women to go around?
Yes, actually there are good women to go around.
So you think men are looking in the wrong places?
No, the thing is that actually there are many women like that can go around, but you see, most guys today, they go for what they see. They're looking for voluptuous women.
Oh wow!
Like when I take this girl out, people will be like, wow, you really select.
Wow.
They're not looking for the interior. Just check out for the lady's eccentricity, how she behaves. Is this a lady or a wife material?
So you're saying, in essence, that some guys are more interested in the outward appearance.
Of course.
Like you just said, some of them have this mentality that, I have to pick a girl that will suit my personality.
Good.
The type that, when I step out with her, everybody will be like, wow, this guy chose well.
That is, because of this parochial mindset, they're looking for who they can showcase, who they can flaunt outside, like this is somebody that chose after. You get, so that kind of thing. Now that woman, she knows this is why you actually chose her.
Okay.
You get, but she wants you to keep feeding her like that. She makes that just threatening you, like, if you don't, I have other persons that I can go and be with. You understand? So because of the parochial mentality at the outset, you get, so there are actually many of these women to go around if the boys choose relax, to look the right way, to look the right direction. There are actually very, very many to go around. Understand?
Now, Ramsey, I think, because a lot of times we accuse women of being too materialistic, right? So what you guys have said now is actually, it actually puts men in the same category. Because, if women are looking for superficial things in men, men are also looking for superficial things in women.
Like the question could also be, are there good men to go around?
Okay.
We only have few. The kind of men we have these days are men who like flashy things. Who, like he rightly said, who love
voluptuous
women. Women who they will present and their guys will like, you tried, you are a man and all that. But without thinking about the character, the content of this woman. But then there are beautiful girls out there who also have good character.
If boys actually calm down, look, see, for everything there's a reason, right? So at the outset of everything, look out for is this the kind of, like you rightly said, is this the kind of person that will give me peace of mind? See, heaven is a place of splendor, but it was war. So in marriage, no matter how rich you are, there will still be, you know,
Some sort of
problems, you understand? So this particular girl I'm investing on, will she become a liability on assets? That should be the rhetorical question you ask
should
yourself.
become a liability
Or
on assets. That's a $1 million question right there, because I think this is a question that a lot of young men don't ask themselves. Okay, they are easily carried away by the superficial things, the glamour, the glitz and glamour. She's a fine girl, you know, she speaks well and all of that. Ramsey asked the question earlier: how long will this sustain the relationship? What happens when the wrinkles begin to set in? What happens when she's no longer that beautiful girl that you met the first time? What happens when all of these things begin to change? Will she continue to be that, you know, person that you met that first time? Now, Ramsey, what do you have to say about what the question I asked him?
Now,
The fact that a lot of guys really can't give account of give a reasonable account of their expenditure annually as per relationship.
And their expenditure is on the relationship. That's where their money goes. See, the truth is, when I see guys trying to make a woman comfortable by spending all his money on the woman, using the word "I am maintaining my woman" and all that, I begin to marvel, like, do we still have some foolish people in this society? A woman that was giving high latch, she said it's not enough by God, she added to it.
Okay.
A woman that removed the eyebrow, she will remove it with razor
drew another one.
and draw another one. A woman that as well decided to increase her bum bum. A woman that as well decided to increase every part of her body just to. A woman that is not satisfied. God was not able to satisfy a woman.
And you think you can?
And you think you can. The man will die, and the woman will continue to live. Other men will continue to maintain her. The truth is, do what you can do. It is not even your responsibility to maintain a woman you've not taken as your wife, you've not married. You are not a poverty alleviation scheme. If she needs all these things, her father should be able to provide it for her. If her father cannot provide, her elder brother cannot provide, her family cannot provide, she can't even provide it for herself. Then who said? Where is it written in our constitution that a boyfriend must always provide all the needs of a girl? A girl that loves you will never stress you. She will not ask you what she knows that you cannot afford. If she's asking you what she knows you cannot afford, she's trying to say you can't take care of me and I'm moving. Maybe she's saying it indirectly. Because she knows you cannot provide this 1 million, for example. And she's asking you for $1 million. She knows you can't provide it. Indirectly, she just needs a reason
To go.
Then you let her go. And focus on someone that will grow with you, that will help you build your home, and all that. Now you see, it is not also their fault. There are some guys out there who have so concentrate and value this idea of physique of a woman. She must have this, she must have that. And that's what leads some girls to go for this, is it BBL, BBL, this and that, enhancement, because that's what get. But the truth is, those guys just want to use you as show off. The love is not there. When it's time for that guy to settle down, he will go to that other girl out there, who they see as Mary Amaka or Christians and all that. That's the girl he wants to make the mother of his unborn kids. Then the other one is for show off, for showmanship and all that. So they should know that a man that really loves you will not want you to go under the knife just because he wants you to add more flesh to what God has given you. It is from the heart that you actually see the beauty of a woman. Who said there are no beautiful girls out there that are well-mannered also? That doesn't mean girls that are well-mannered that are not beautiful. They are beautiful. There are beautiful girls out there. They are well-mannered. They are focused. They know what they want. You go for such. Okay. So the fault is from some of those guys who make it look like this is what all men want in a woman. That is not what all men want. Men want a woman that will be the mother of their kids. You've drunk with a man, you smoke and shisha like a dragon with him, you've done different things with him. Once it's time for marriage, the man will remind you of your past life and say, I can't marry this woman. I am going for this. And you say all men are scum and all men are the same and all that. You've forgotten when he was paying you for it. When you were collecting thousands, when you were collecting millions from him, when he was taking you all around the world, you were sitting in front of the car and all that. He paid for it and he got whatever he wants. He's done with you. Now he wants to settle down. You are crying. So girls out there, I think they should see beyond just outer beauty and start working on themselves.
Thank you so much, Ramsey. Michael, he said something that struck me, that, you know, a woman who actually has your interest at heart and who is with you for the long haul will not expect you to spend, you know, extravagantly on her. What that tells me is that, you know, a woman who expects you to spend so much already has an exit plan.
Yeah.
Probably doesn't even see a future with you. Because if she does see a future with you, she would advise you and encourage you to invest, knowing that, you know, whatever comes out of that investment, she's going to be a part of it in the long run. Do you share that thought?
Yeah, of course, yeah, definitely. Now, somebody that really loves you will not stress you, all right? So most of these girls, they know what they're doing. Like, what he said just now, he said, I think, talked about a girl looking for a reason, a purpose to leave
a relationship.
All right. See, most of these guys that are close to their partners, they know the capacity, they know the extent,
The limits.
The limits, the pockets.
Okay.
You get. So a girl that actually, you know, have your heart, and she will not want you to spend redundantly. So most of these girls today, anyway, let me not say most of them, a few of these girls, like very, very few.
Some of them, okay.
Yeah, some of them, what they do, if they actually love a boy, they point you in the right direction. They want you to, okay, why don't you try this one out since the other one did not work
motivates
out?
you.
Like they push you to your goal. They may even lead you to tears. You'll be like, who is this angel?
True.
You understand? So most of these girls, there are just a few girls, I beg your pardon, just a few girls that have this kind of mentality. Most of them are carried away by these
Material
social
things,
media,
yeah.
material things. Look at what my friend's boyfriend got for her.
Let's
So
not
why-
Talking about, let's
you know,
not forget about social media influencers.
yeah.
I just bought a new hair.
Yes.
My friends need to see it.
Yeah, so
Her boyfriend bought it for her.
you get. So as we're
Stuff like
moving
that.
together, I was the black sheep. I was the only one that was left out. Look at them with their, you know, their exorbitant
So she
hair.
was under pressure
Just
to
look
belong.
at, yeah, you understand. So this kind of girl, that is, if Grandma Cooper met me, I'll say that's the reddest flag. You understand? So you understand. So that kind of thing, if a boy spots such error or such thing, nobody should tell you to, according to the
To run.
to the
To
balance, to
run.
borrow more leg and run.
Okay.
You understand? So a girl that really, really loves you will not overstress you.
All right.
You
Now,
understand?
Ramsey, what's your advice for young men who are in one-chance relationships?
Okay.
One chance in terms of, you know that the person you're with right now doesn't really have your interest at heart, but because you're already emotionally
Don't want to lose
attached,
her. Yeah.
you don't know what to do to opt out. What's your advice for such
Let
guys?
me remind
in
them.
less than 30 seconds.
Yes, let me remind them if they've forgotten that you can give a woman everything. Give her all the money. There'll be one bicycle repairer. It could just be a driver. It could just be the vulcanizer by the roadside who is servicing her. Let me use that word. And you are the one spending the money. Women don't even know what they want. They can fall in love with anybody just for anything. So you can be taken as your dogu.
Some women.
Yeah, some women. You can be taken as your dogu.
Okay.
Yeah, of
Why
course, yeah.
she would just love the other guy because of the way he looks. So if you think money can buy love, you will spend and spend and spend. At the end, it will still end in futility.
So in a nutshell, money can't buy love.
Can't buy love.
Definitely.
All right, Michael?
Yeah. I think, well, like I said, let me contribute to it. Get so most of these relationships that we find ourselves in, just do your level best and leave the rest. You don't have to kill yourself. You don't have to pressurize. Like you said just now, you said some women they found calmness, they found safe space in some certain persons. They can like a guy because of his sexual prowess. They can like one because of his pockets. You know, they can like one because of his.
So there's no
the
particular
pockets.
reason why a
no
woman-
particular reasons.
Exactly.
They are
Women are attracted
ones
to men. Okay.
just insatiable. You just can't please them. So just do
your
your
best.
level best. You understand, and leave the rest.
All right, guys, I want to say a big thank you for making tonight's edition a success. You guys have been really, really amazing. Well, like they say, a word is enough for the wise. You really can't go beyond your limits. Every human being has a limit, okay? And the moment you begin to try to stretch your limits, that's when you begin to wear yourself out. And then the moment you're done, she would leave you for the next person. Okay, so just like they've said, if there's anything I can take away from what they've said so far, is the fact that you can't please anyone, not just women. Okay, you can't please anyone. Human wants are insatiable. Where you stop is where somebody else is going to begin. So why not just do the best that you can? And just like Michael said, the person that loves you will not stress you. Seriously, whoever loves you will not stress you. If that person you are dating is stressing you, just know that the person is not for you. and you'll be doing yourself a world of good to walk out of that relationship. It's been the Guys Hangout Show on Independent Television. I want to say a big thank you to each and every one of you out there. A big thank you to the gentlemen in the house for making today a success. My name is Harry Agbo J, and until I come your way again, same time, same station next week, ensure you make every single day of your life count. Do have yourself a beautiful night rest. Bye for now.
It's definitely a wonderful day. Thanks so much for joining us on this week's edition of the program Business 360. So without much ado, we're just going to dive right into it, and we're starting with updates in the Nigerian stock market, and we're giving you updates of the week that ended 14th November 2025, and it ended in a very negative territory, losing about 2,511.22 points to finish at 147,113.59, despite strong gains on stocks like NCR Nigeria and ASO Savings and Loans. By the way, my name is Daisy Leo Asikidi, and welcome. So we'll continue from there. This was tracked by Nigerian All-Share Index. The market hard opened at 149,524.81, but a wave of panic selling earlier in the week actually erased about 4.6 trillion naira in value. Now, the downturn lingered despite strong rebound the next day when the market gained about 2.6 trillion naira following assurances from the Minister of Finance, Mr. Wale Edun. His intervention likely eased concerns around capital gain tax and even helped soften the weekly decline, though the market still ended in the red. Activity, however, remained strong. Investors traded 7.32 billion shares worth 156.42 billion naira across 383 deals, and that's compared to the 3.57 billion shares, at least, that was valued at 107.01 billion naira the previous week. This reflects the overall sentiment. Market capitalization fell to 93.501 trillion naira from 94.99 trillion naira in the week earlier. Well, market breadth showed some improvement for the 8 equities appreciated, and that's up from the 20 that were reported the previous week, and 45 equities declined. A notable drop from 75 previously, but 53 equities closed unchanged. Okay, so overall, the market ended the week under pressure, but showed resilience beneath the volatility. And now for the market overview. The Nigerian All-Share Index opened the week in the red, losing 0.46%. However, the bearish momentum intensified on Tuesday following a panic sell-off, dragging the index down by over 7,500 points to 141,327.3. A rebound began on Wednesday, likely driven by the finance minister's reassurance on capital gains tax. The index rose 2.88%. It continued to gain through the remaining 2 trading days, and eventually it closed on Friday at 147,115.6. This is the key highlight. The NGX Premium Index fell 2.74%, weighed down by a 10% drop in Dangote Cement, 2.06% in Fexed Oat Co., 1.83% in Seplat, and 0.42% in MTN. NGX 30 Index shed 1.73%, while the NGX Main Board Index declined by 1%. And this is the sectoral performance. I'll break it down. The Industrial Goods Index was the worst hit, dropping 6.97%, following a 10% decline in Dangote Cement and a 6.67% fall in Boa Cement. Mid-caps also weakened, with Austin Lars down 18.62%. Triple G falling 9.98% and Better Glass sliding 6.02%. The next sector will be the NGX Oil and Gas Index. It slipped 0.85% as Seplat fell 1.83%. On the positive side, the NGX Insurance Index gained 2.42%, supported by over 9% increases in Cornerstone Insurance, Guinea Insurance, and International Energy Insurance. The NGX Banking Index also closed higher, up 1.26%, while the Consumer Goods Index posted a modest 0.46% gain. Here are the top gainers. Leading the pack was NCR Nigeria PLC. It soared 32.30% week to date, marking a standard performance and closing at 25 naira 60 kobo, followed by ASO Savings Loans PLC with a 14.44% gain. It ended the week at 1 naira. There were other major gainers like Champion Breweries PLC that went up 11.54% to 14 naira 50 kobo, International Energy Insurance PLC up 11.48% to 2 naira 72 kobo, Secure Electronic Technology PLC up 10.67% to 83 kobo, Cornerstone Insurance PLC up 10.51% to 6 naira 10 kobo, Japol Gold and Venture PLC also went up 9.57% to 2 naira 29 kobo. Guinea Insurance PLC up 9.57% to 1 naira 26 kobo. FTN Cocoa Processors PLC up 9.38% to 5 naira 25 kobo. Legend Internet PLC up 9.13% to 5 naira 74 kobo. But on the flip side, Union Deconsult PLC led the laggards, shedding 18.71% week to date to close at 6 naira 30 kobo. Austin Lars and Company PLC followed with an 18.62% decline, finishing the week at 2 naira 36 kobo. There were other notable decliners like Multiverse Mining and Exploration PLC that went down 14.43% to 10 naira. Dangote Cement PLC also went down 10% to 594 naira. Academic Press PLC down 10% to 6 naira 75 kobo. Transco Power PLC down 10% to 307 naira 80 kobo. Triple G Company PLC down 9.98% to 4 naira 42 kobo. Associated Bus Company PLC down 9.91% to 3 naira 82 kobo. There's also Red Star Express PLC down 9.80% to 9 naira 20 kobo. Abbey Mortgage Bank PLC also went down 9.72% to 6 naira 50 kobo. For the corporate actions that ended in the week under review, the week under review featured several notable corporate disclosures and sector-wide developments. PZ Custom proposed 98 million naira in directors' remuneration ahead of its AGM. Zenith Bank staff Provident Fund purchased 2.3 billion naira worth of bank shares. Presco opened 236.67 billion naira rights issue to fund expansion and acquisitions. Mofi listed its 1 trillion naira Series 2 MREIF on the NGX. Fidelity Bank released its first half 2025 results, reporting 180.5 billion naira in pre-tax profits. Corn Oil declared a 3 naira 50 kobo final dividend for shareholders. FCMB announced plans to raise its capital ceiling to 370 billion naira ahead of a crucial EGM. Although the market closed in the red for the week ended 14th November, the all-share index appears to be positioning for a recovery towards the 150,000 mark, from which it previously slipped. A full return to bullish momentum in large cap stocks, which came under pressure the previous week, could likely drive the index higher in the sessions ahead. Although the market closed in the red for the week ended 14th November, the all-share index appears to be positioning for a recovery towards the 150,000 mark, from which it previously slipped. So a full return of bullish momentum in large cap stocks, which came under pressure the previous week, could likely drive the index higher in the sessions ahead. So we're going to go on a break on that note, and when we return, we'll talk some more. This one, we're focusing on professionals who want to leave Nigeria and they're eyeing the Europe job market. We'll be back. For many professionals eyeing the Europe job market, 2026 could be the year to make the move without breaking the bank. While several European countries have recently increased visa application fee, a few European Union nations still offer affordable pathways that will make it easier for skilled workers, remote professionals, and digital nomads to live and work legally across the continent. So according to a 2023 Gallup survey, 51% of Nigerians want to migrate, placing the country among the top 10 globally for migration intent. Migration to Europe and the United States has grown steadily over the past decade. With Europe's rising demand for skilled labor and lower-cost visa programs, the European Union is becoming an increasingly attractive destination. Currently, more than 260,000 Nigerians live in the EU. So here is a breakdown of Europe's cheapest work visas for 2026, including details on fees and the validity period. I know you thank me for it. I'll be back. On number 9 is Finland, with visa fee €490 and validity of 1 to 2 years. Finland's specialist permit caters to experts in software, data science, and research. While it comes with a higher fee, the fast processing time and innovative work culture makes it attractive for high-skill applicants. And number 8 is the Netherlands, with a visa fee of €404, validity up to 5 years. The highly skilled migrant visa offers up to 5 years of residence and a fast track to permanent status. The Netherlands is widely known as one of the most English-friendly EU countries, especially for professionals in tech and engineering. Our number 7 is France. France's talent passport allows long-term residence of up to 4 years. Though the cost is high, it's a strategic option for experts in tech, finance, and creative industries who want to build a base in Western Europe. Visa fee is €324. And on number 6 is Sweden, with a visa fee of €182 and a visa validity of 2 years. Sweden's general work permit is valid for up to 2 years and suits professionals in IT, R&D, and engineering. It's ideal for those seeking progressive work policies and a high standard of living. On number 5 is Austria. Austria's visa fee is €160 and a validity of 24 months. Austria's red, white, red card allows skilled professionals, especially in engineering and healthcare, to live and work for 2 years. Applicants benefit from clear application procedures and strong integration support. On number 4 is Poland. Poland's D-type visa offers an easy entry route for job seekers in agriculture, tourism, and IT. It's regarded as a low-cost option for first-time migrants aiming to gain EU work experience. The visa fee is €135 and the validity is for 1 year. Luxembourg offers one of the longest lasting work visas in Europe with validity of up to 8 years. It suits professionals in tech, finance, and healthcare seeking both stability and high salaries in a small but yet dynamic economy. The visa application fee is €80 and its validity is up to 96 months. On number 2 is Spain. Spain's visa fee is $80 and the validity of the permit is 1 year. The Spain's digital nomad visa is tailored for remote workers and tech professionals. It grants legal residence and work rights for just 1 year. offering the chance to experience Spain's Mediterranean lifestyle at a low visa cost. And top on our list today is Germany. Germany remains one of the most affordable EU destinations to begin a professional career. The skilled workers visa and EU blue card are valid for 1 year and can be renewed. There is currently a high demand for engineers, healthcare workers, and IT specialists across Germany. The visa application fee is 75 euros and its validity is 1 year, although it's extendable. And that's how we're going to conclude Business 360 today. I'm sure you had a swell time with us. Next week is another time. Till then, keep watching ITV. I'm Daisy Leo Sekidi. Bye for now.
Hello there, thank you for joining us on this special interview series on independent television. And I'm Sonny Duke Okosun. Our guest today on the program is the Ambassador of the European Union to Nigeria and ECOWAS. As a matter of fact, the Ambassador of the European Delegation to Nigeria and ECOWAS, His Excellency Ambassador Gauthier Mignon. Thank you for obliging us your time.
Thank you very much for your kind invitation, sir.
Okay, how would you describe your presence in Benin so far? Is this your first time in Benin City?
Actually, it's my second time, but I came in a private visit the first time because I hadn't presented my credentials yet to Mr. President, so I could not engage officially by the time. So this time it's the first official visit. And I came really with an intention to see how, to review the cooperation we are having with Edo State and to try to see how we can scale it up. But I took the opportunity to visit yesterday to participate to a private preview of the Museum of West African Arts here in Edo State, which is a project that I already saw last year when I came first to Benin City.
So how would you describe the level of partnership between the European Union and, of course, Nigeria, and particularly Edo State?
Well, with Nigeria, the European Union, together with its member states and its development banks, which we call Team Europe, I think is the first partner, is Nigeria's first partner in many areas, in trade and investment in particular, and also in cooperation in many areas. And we have 730 million euros in grants for bilateral cooperation with Nigeria between 2041 and 2027, plus also sizable amounts of loans, subsidized loans. And with Edo State, we've had good cooperation in several areas. I'm thinking in particular of support to migration governance and support to stranded migrants returning to Nigeria, and many of them are from Edo State. And in the last few years, we supported more than 23,000 people to come back and reintegrate into their communities nationally, and many of them in Edo State, just to name an example. So we think we can do more in other areas. We're also working in digital economy, in renewable energy, and also in projects for communities. but I always come with states so important like Edo State with an idea of how to try to improve and strengthen what we are doing already.
All right. What is the policy thrust of the European Union in terms of opportunities for young people as it relates to education?
Well, for us, education is key, and young people are a cross-cutting priority in a country like Nigeria. So in all our projects, we integrate a dimension for young people and also for women. And in particular, as far as young people are concerned, we are funding a big national project called Nigeria Jubilee Fellowship Program. It's about helping young graduates to integrate into labor markets by funding a 12-month scholarship for having internships in medium and small size enterprises or public service to get a first professional experience, and this is something that we are now scaling up with the federal government. And we are also offering possibilities of studies in Europe, particularly through the Erasmus program. We have more than 100 Nigerians going every year to Europe to study a master in the framework of the Erasmus program.
All right. What is the policy thrust of the European Union in terms of opportunities for young people as it relates to education?
Well, for us, education is key, and young people are a cross-cutting priority in a country like Nigeria. So in all our projects, we integrate a dimension for young people and also for women. And in particular, as far as young people are concerned, we are funding a big national project called Nigeria Jubilee Fellowship Program. It's about helping young graduates to integrate into labor markets by funding a 12-month scholarship for having internships in medium and small size enterprises or public service to get a first professional experience, and this is something that we are now scaling up with the federal government. And we are also offering possibilities of studies in Europe, in particular through the Erasmus program. We have more than 100 Nigerians going every year to Europe to study a master in the framework of the Erasmus program in particular.
Fantastic. If you just join us, we have with us the ambassador of the European Commission delegation to Nigeria and Africa, who is in Edo State currently on a private visit, engaging him on a wide range of issues, looking at the partnership between the Commission and Nigeria, and particularly Edo State. Ambassador Migno, let me quickly take you on a trending issue in Nigeria right now, which has to do with violence, extremism, and the talk around genocide against Christians is gaining momentum across the world, particularly in the US and several other places. What's the Commission's perspectives on this issue, and what is the intention in terms of helping Nigeria to deal with banditry, Boko Haram, and all other, extremism that we're seeing playing up in the country right now?
I think it's important not to exaggerate or oversimplify situations which are very complex in Nigeria in terms of violence and insecurity. Of course, it's a big concern for everybody, including for us. We are very much committed with freedom of religion and belief in particular, and of course, any attack against communities or individuals because of their religion must be condemned, are unacceptable. But at the same time, we stand in solidarity with Nigeria, with the victims of the attacks, of course, and with the overwhelming majority of Nigerians who are willing to coexist peacefully beyond ethnic or religious differences. And so we stand in solidarity with Nigeria to fight the many drivers of violence and insecurity, and religion is only one of them. And we've been supporting Nigeria for many years through many projects of peace building, of de-radicalization, demobilization of former members of non-state armed groups, for instance. And we are ready to do more. The European Union some 12 years ago received the Nobel Prize for Peace. And so we always feel the necessity to be up to this great distinction that we received. to work on peace building, to work also and strengthen a relationship on security and defense with Nigeria, but in a spirit of partnership and of respect for Nigeria's sovereignty.
Fantastic. You're here specifically because of the Museum of West African Arts, MOA, which of course was launched just a few days ago. But what's your take on the current issues surrounding the Museum of West African Arts, particularly against the background of some of the things that happened there, during the inauguration of the center? You were there.
I was there. It was not an inauguration of the museum, actually. Okay. It was just a private preview, because the organizer, I think very wisely, decided, as there were some criticisms, to postpone the formal inauguration of the museum. They announced this already a few days ago. And so yesterday was just a private preview for partners, friends, diplomats like myself and other European ambassadors. The EU has no direct involvement in this project. We are not funding this project. We might do it in the future, because we want to partner more with museums and cultural institutions in West Africa and Nigeria, but we have no direct involvement so far. So I came here really to see the advancement of this very wonderful project I discovered last year when I came first, which is a great opportunity for Edo State, for Nigeria, and for West Africa. It's a West African museum. It's not about only Benin or Edo State or Nigeria even. It's West African. And I must say that the experience that we had yesterday was quite unpleasant and deplorable, because this private event on a private property was disrupted by so-called protesters who came in, allowed by the police, because there was security all around, but they left them in. And they disrupted the whole event. So it's exactly how you scale off. You scale off investors and development partners coming in good faith, to partner with your community. And Germany, for instance, has invested 8.5 million euros in this project. If now they see that this project cannot operate normally, the conclusions will be quite clear, not only for Germany but for all European stakeholders.
Fantastic. Let's look at a general issue that relates to the involvement of the Western world in Africa in terms of development, in terms of partnership, in terms of insecurity. Talking about partnership, we're seeing the European Union, for example, always disposed to giving loans to African countries, Nigeria inclusive. The perspective of these loans being a trap for developing countries, underdeveloped countries. What are your thoughts? What's the Commission perspectives on this?
Well, this is a trap where we felt collectively, the lenders and our African partners 30 years ago, and we had at the time to pardon part of this debt, to do a whole work to get out of this situation. So now, through, in particular, our new cooperation strategy, which is called the Global Gateway Strategy, we are very attentive not to fall again into this trap. So we limit the level of indebtedness of partner countries. We give subsidized loans. We don't want to fall again into this trap. And what we are seeing with concern is that African countries, some of them, are falling again into this situation with other lenders, not the European Union, because we've learned from our first experience. So this is why now we work very much with financial instruments, blending loans with grants, for instance, subsidized loans which create revenues for the country, so making sure that they can be reimbursed. So it's really a point we are very attentive to.
On a global scale, we've seen the disappearance of peace, so to speak, at the global level. I mean, the Hamas-Israeli crisis there's a ceasefire, there's some sort of agreement, but we're still seeing some measure of violence. We saw recently the RSF activities in Sudan, particularly in Al-Fasher. That crisis is still going on. And these activities or events that are unfolding globally that undermines peace globally, what's your perspective of the fact that it's like the world is hamstrung in terms of dealing with these issues, nipping them at the bud before it blossoms, it flourishes, snowballs into huge crisis like you're seeing now in Sudan. Hunger is there in Hamas, there's starvation, there's poverty, and all of these issues happening. Why is it so difficult for the world leaders to have a consensus in terms of how they can collectively respond to these issues?
Because we have collective rules in the United Nations Charter, international law. And what we have seen over the last 10 years or so is that very important players have not respected these rules. You know? Take the case of Russia in particular.
Yeah, Russia and Ukraine.
The Russian invasion to Ukraine,
yeah,
which started in fact in 2014, then it became full scale in 2022. Then we, you know, each from a permanent member of the Security Council, a country which is supposed to be a guarantor of these rules, then, you know, it showed that everybody can do anything and violates international law without punishment. And so this is why it's so important, and that is why the European Union insisted so much that all countries in the world had to condemn the Russian invasion to Ukraine. And most countries, including Nigeria, have done that. But others, including large democracies, have not done so.
When you say large democracy, are you talking about the US?
The US has done so, but others have not.
Okay.
And then, you know, other crises also popped up. And then when the law starts to be broken here and there, it just becomes contagious.
Ambassador Gotna Migno, thank you so much for your time. Truly appreciate this conversation.
Pleasure. Thank you, sir.
Okay, I've been talking with Ambassador Mignot, who is the head of the European delegation to Nigeria and Africa, is currently in Edo State on a visit, and we've been engaging him on a wide range of issues. Thank you for staying with us, and have a beautiful day ahead. Bye for now.